Okay, so first of all, on behalf of IGNU in general and School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies in particular, I extend heartiest welcome to the students of Postgraduate Diploma in Sustainability Science, July 2020 batch. As you all know, sustainability science is an upcoming discipline. It has a huge scope and potential to address global, socio-economic, cultural, environmental, and
Madam, sorry, it was a mistake. आपके microphone.
oh, I'm sorry. So again, on behalf of IGNU and School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies, I extend heartiest welcome to the students of Postgraduate Diploma in Sustainability Science, July 2020 batch. Sustainability science is an upcoming discipline which has a huge scope and potential to address global socio-economic, cultural, environmental, political, and legal issues. And we at IGNU are proud to say that our university is pioneer in developing the academic programs in the field of sustainability science. It is interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary discipline which requires knowledge inputs from various other subjects such as social sciences, anthropology, economics, history, and so many others. So, in today's times during COVID, we have seen that how things are linked to each other, how essential it is to have personal well being and health that has become the topmost priority in today's scenario. And I congratulate the students that you have taken the first step towards balancing nature and human beings, or we can say society, by joining this course. With this note, I extend again a very warm welcome. Our good wishes are with you as a school. And now I request our director, Dr. Shubhangi Vaidya, to present welcome address. Madam Dr. Shubhangi Vaidya.
Thank you so much, Dr. Diksha. And at the very outset, let me extend my warmest welcome to all of you, dear learners of the July 2020 batch. We in the SYTS in particular and IGNU as such are committed to giving you the best in terms of updated information, a strong student support system, which this particular platform, Web-Enabled Academic Support, is endeavoring to give you. We are very, very happy to associate with you on this platform in particular, because this means that we as your teachers can interact with you on a regular basis, get to know your views, get to know your opinions, right? And share the ongoing, latest information. There's so much going on in the media in terms of new articles being printed, so many new scholarly researches happening. So we can constantly keep updating you with the latest information in this very, very interesting and topical and exciting field. I think Dr. Diksha, my colleague, has already mentioned earlier of the relevance of this particular discipline in this day and age, at a time where COVID has really upended a lot of the certainties of our world, and in which we are forced like never before to look at the way in which our interrelationship with the environment and the world around us, we have to question it, we have to look at it afresh, and we can no longer keep taking the earth and her resources for granted. So I think these are some very, very important, issues that are covered in this particular program. And like Dr. Diksha also mentioned, it's an interdisciplinary program. So you will have the opportunity to interact with persons from a wide range of academic backgrounds, whether it is from sociology, anthropology, environmental science, chemistry, and so on and so forth. So I think all in all, we are trying our level best to give you a very well-rounded, a holistic kind of an experience, by bringing on board our own contributions, by bringing on board all the renowned experts in the field. And once again, I would like to really express my thanks to the National Center for Innovation and Distance Education and the team there, led so ably by Dr. Sharma, who is going to be giving a very, very important lecture, the inaugural lecture of this particular session. So I really thank all of you, Dr. Sharma, Jyotsna ma'am, Sujata, and the whole team, Momita. Thank you so much for the support that you have provided to our school. And of course, whatever I say would be incomplete if I did not express my congratulations to the entire SOITS team, and a sense of great, a sense of great, go ahead spirit. Let's go ahead and do the best that we can together as a team. Dr. Kuman, you have been doing a lot of very, very hard work, and all of us at the school and the university acknowledge this. So do, keep going ahead with this very important initiative. And of course, all my other colleagues, Professor Rupini, Professor Nandini Sinha Kapoor, Professor Shachi Shah, Dr. Diksha, Dr. Sushmita Bhaskar, Dr. V. Venkatramanan, all of us are trying our best to give you the best inputs that we possibly can. And we do hope that being with us in IGNOU will be a very, very enriching experience for you, will be an experience where you will get to learn a lot of things. And we will also get to learn a lot of things from you, because teaching, learning is never a one-way process. We have as much to learn from our students as our students have to learn from us. Probably more, I think, because all of you come from so many diverse backgrounds. Getting to know all of you is going to be so interesting. Many of you may be, working professionals. Many of you may be, just, not working, but, full-fledged students. So it's very, very interesting for us also as teachers to learn from your own experiences. And we hope that this interrelationship, this interaction between all of us will be extremely fruitful. Once again, I welcome you very, very warmly on behalf of the school and on behalf of the university. And I hand over now to Dr. Kuman. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. And your words, your motivation will definitely make our learners feel at home doing this program. And we as a team, SOITS and also NCID at IGNOU, promise to deliver our best to the students who have enrolled for this program. Taking no time, I now request Dr. Y.C. Kuman, the program coordinator of Postgraduate Diploma in Sustainability Science, to tell us more about the program.
Very good afternoon to all. I welcome all the students who enroll in this unique and very important program, Postgraduate Diploma in Sustainability Science, and all my Senate colleague who is here in this online discussion, online lecture, and our PGTS BIAS team, IGNOU. Today, in this, I'm not going to in detail about the course structure. Here, I would like to share to all of you, especially to the learners, about the basic of teaching learning process, which after you enroll in a program, irrespective of in which university, in which institution, we are very eager and keen to know the basic procedure of delivering the program from admission up to the certification. And it's also, as you know, we already started some of the process of discussion with all of you through our advanced and unique BIAS platform and a discussion forum, even at WhatsApp. So today is Diksha also in the opening remarks, she also said that it is one and only program in India. IGNOU is the only university that offer the program in the field of sustainability science. If you Google or if you search in any of the search website, you will find that only few universities across the world, they're offering program in this area, sustainability science. So As I mentioned, it is the first university, IGNOU is the first university in the country to introduce the educational programs in the area of sustainability science, which is an emerging and it's a need-based discipline. The reason need-based discipline is, as you know, the global common efforts to bring sustainable development aids. We have to achieve Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, commonly known as SDGs, by 2030. So that's why to achieve SDGs by 2030, most of the expert national and international organization takes doctrine of sustainability science is one of the basic approach to achieve sustainable development goals by 2030. That is why it is a need-based discipline. And if you quick look into the course structure you have seen in our BIAS platform in introductory, the first phase you will find out that the PGDSS program mainly focuses on the genesis and the principle of sustainable development. As I mentioned, that we need to achieve the sustainable development goals. When we have to achieve that, we need to understand the genesis and the principle of sustainable development, its tools, implementation, and assessment strategies in a holistic way. You should note down the last two words in a holistic way. That is the uniqueness of this program. You will find out the basic of natural resource management, ecological economics, global and local efforts for sustainable development through good governance, law and policy, in an integrated and in an academic framework, so that as a learners, you can understand the tools and techniques in developing and implementing sustainable development projects, programs, and so on. If I share the genesis of sustainability science in India, and I would like to share that the discipline, the program was developed under the guidance of father of Green Revolution in India, Professor M.H. Swaminathan. And other experts are even the then Vice Chancellors, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor V.N. Rajasekharan Pillai and Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Lata Pillai. They were very much involved in that. They attend each and every meeting of inception of this program, expert group meetings and other. The other expert as you will find out here, Professor Keshavan, emeritus professor, and he was a professor of retired professor of School of Life Science, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Dr. A.K. Shivakumar, UNICEF this advisor, and Professor P.S. Ramakrishnan, well-known ecologist of India, Professor K.S. Rao, Dr. P.A. Aziz, and many more, many faculty from IGNOU, Professor M.K. Shaluza, and others. If you look into the program objective of this program is to provide opportunity to you, learners, to deepen your knowledge and understanding about sustainable development and the principle of sustainable science. When you understand about the sustainable development, you have to understand from the lens of the principle of sustainability science. Expand capacities of the learners on various theoretical and practical aspects of sustainable development. It should be in a dynamic way. That's why we are going to have regular counseling sessions. Then to develop professional knowledge and skills in formulation, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of sustainable development projects and programs as a grassroots level practitioners. So these are some of the objectives. Okay. So it has, if you look into the academic framework of this course, you will find out there are 7 theory courses and 1 project. The 7 theory courses are, the first courses, it is on sustainability science. Second courses is on ecosystem and natural resources. then followed by MSD 013 course. Third course is on socio-cultural system. Then fourth course is on ecological economics, followed by institution governance and policies, then strategies and models for sustainability. Then last theory course is challenges to sustainable development. We'll have a different session on what are the learning objectives of these different courses. Today, I will not explain up to that level. Now let us try to have a important, what are the teaching learning processes? These are the very basic questions you are asking to us, especially when you, get enrolled in this particular program. So if you look into the basic teaching learning processes, especially in IGNOU, we have structure of study center, then you have induction session, which we are having today. Then you will get the study materials. Then it is followed by a counseling session. Then after having counseling session, others, it is a continuous assessment through assignments. Then at last term examination of theory and project. There is you have to do one project and a viva. And at last, and then after term examination, you will get result and certification. If you look into the structure of study center for this program, as you know, the program is offered only in headquarters. So BIAS PGDSS, in collaboration with NCID and SOITs, we act as a study center. Sometimes you must have in your mind that why IGNOU is having only studies, this PGDSS only has only one study center in headquarters. We used to offer in 19 to 20, about 19 study center across the country. But, you know, finding out suitable counselor was not available. And that's one of the reasons. Looking into the important uniqueness of this program, we are offering this program from the headquarters, and we are giving from an effective student support system to BIAS PGDSS. Student, please mute your microphone. Then, this followed by induction. Induction usually happen in RC level for other program and study center. That's why we are doing induction through online. Okay. And study materials. This is one of the important question. Who is speaking? Madam, is it possible to do from your side, please? I have given admission. Okay, anyway. So study materials, you know, when you track the admission, when you, submit a online application form, you must have, have two options. One is one soft copy and hard copy. Those who have ticked of that hard copy, sure, you'll get the hard copy to your registered postal address. University Concerned Division will send you the hard copy. And we are giving soft copy to all of you, irrespective of who opted for soft copy or hard copy. It is available there in our BIAS platform. Okay. Then after having the next important this learning process is counseling. You know, IGNOU provide counseling and discussion to its learners to facilitate their learning process and complete the programs of study. And our basic, counseling session, as you know, for this specific program is, I explain you PGDSS ways. BIAS, we are going to regularly conduct the session through this platform. Then we have interactive radio counseling. Then we have Genderson, and we have web counseling, what we are doing, and we have discussion forum also. And this is the new component. You will see this is unique needs in this particular program where we are having one is, One is that regular online counseling session. In this regular online counseling session, we're trying our best that at least minimum of 2 hours per credit. That is, if you look into the academic that program framework, you will find out if in a course, you will find out 4 blocks. 4 blocks means 1 credit per block. So we are trying to, we always, if based on our whatever we, follow in the last few batches, we conduct minimum of 2 hours counseling session, 2 classes per block. Then the new addition is we are going to have some Swayam Prabha channel 18th, and we are going to broadcast some of the related some of the related video, recorded video of this program, and it may also have the live telecast here. These are some of the new then assignments. Next is you have to download the assignment. Then assignment has to be submitted. And then for this also we have different counseling session, different interactive session after a month or so. Then you have to submit the assignment. When you compare with other conventional ODL system, even in the IGNOU, you will find out that you have to submit an assignment either RC or study center. In this context, you have to send directly to us in this particular address. And as job now, due to some policy or due to some, it is a, we can say this is a, and a positive note, you can tag that due to this corona pandemic, we're taking the assignment through online. Means you have to submit the assignment, scan copy also of your assignment, and you have to send here in this email. So when you, in that process, what you have to do, you have to download the latest upload irrespective of which batch, and the last date for assignment is, for example, if you want to give term in examination in June term in examination, the last date is 31st March, and for December it is 30th September. If you are giving in December term in examination, okay. So if we look into the term in examination, you are eligible because our course is 1 year course, 1 year, the duration of the course is minimum 1 year and maximum to 3 years. So you are eligible to give examination after completion of 1 year. That is, since you have enrolled in July session, you are eligible to give examination next year, June onward. So likewise, those who enroll in January, they are eligible to give examination in December. There are very basic questions come up from different learners that since the course is offered only in the headquarters, whether we have to come to the headquarters to give the examination. Then another question is when you are offering online web-enabled academic support system, whether we have to give the examination online. The answer is that you have to give examination with other ODL courses in IGNOU, that is pen and the paper examination. You can give examination at anywhere in India, it means across the country, in the specified examination center from time to time where university is conducting the examination. So examination, term in examination, you have to give the pen and the paper examination for theory, and the theory courses, that is MSD 0112, MSD 0117. We have project component. For that, you have to complete the first. You have to submit a project proposal, and the final project report has to submit that to the register HCG. And Viva will be conducted online. For this also, we have different sessions to discuss about the process and how to conduct the project in another session. So that is followed by your result and certification. So from the beginning age, you must have experienced that whenever you try to connect to us, even before you enroll in this program, our team in a PGDSS, BIAS PGDS, BIAS team of IGNOU, that is NCID and SYTS team, trying our best level before enrollment till the end of your certification. For that, we are here. You need not to worry. For that, we'll continue the same. That doesn't mean that you will have in your mind that, okay, the team is helping us only before before we enter to the getting the admission. Not that the question. We are also continuing the same support, the same prompt response to you till the completion of your courses. We are here for all of you. So assessment method, let us look into assessment methods. We have your that of theory courses and the project, and then the evaluation system in assessment and term in examination. That assignment have 30% weightage and the term in examination have 70% weightage. So in the project report, 75% weightage, and the Viva 25% weightage. So this is the student support homepage where we have it is developed by NCID's unique initiative of NCID IGNOU, and you will find out this some of the important this component for these details. Our team of our PGDS waste team at NCID will explain to you. So thank you for anything, for any, don't hesitate to call the program coordinator or to write to us. We are here for you from till you get certificate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Koman. It was an elaborative account of the program, the courses, the assignments, everything you have explained. And as we have talked about web-enabled academic support, which is commonly called as VIAS, and it is a unique initiative of NCID to provide one-stop program portal to help the students to access all the facilities and all the teaching learning things they can do. Under the leadership of Dr. O.P. Sharma, NCID team is doing wonderful work, helping us throughout. And we have with us today Dr. Jyotsna Dikshit, Deputy Director NCID, and Ms. Sujata Santosh. I request you, ma'am, both of you, to tell our students more about the portal so that they can have an overview about the portal and the services which the portal gives. I welcome you, ma'am, both of you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Diksha. And yeah, it is a joint effort of SOITS and NCID because basically we experimented on the technology long back. However, it is the school who has actually facilitated us to experiment it and then now successfully implement. This is the third batch which is running, and the system is evolving. And I'm really thankful to the school to facilitate us in providing innovative solutions to the students. मेरा सबको बहुत बहुत नमस्कार and a very good afternoon, especially to our learners. हम कुछ लोग पहले भी मिल चुके हैं, जैसे मैं नाम देख रही हूँ, और कुछ नए हैं, उन सबको भी हमारा नमस्कार। और हम यहाँ पे आपको जो बेसिक सपोर्ट आपको मिलेगा आपकी टीचिंग लर्निंग के लिए, उसके बारे में हम आज आपको यहाँ पे विस्तार से जानकारी देंगे। सबसे पहले I would like to mention that the web-enabled academic support initiative is guided by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nageshwar Rao, and I really thank him from the bottom of my heart because उन्होंने हमें ये freedom दिया कि हम इस चीज़ को experiment कर सकें और इस system को अपने students के लिए implement कर सकें, जो आज की तारीख में काफ़ी successful साबित हो रहा है। साथ में we are also grateful to our Pro Vice Chancellor Sir Dr. KB Das जी, who also facilitated us, and above all हमारे जो director हैं, उन्होंने हमें पूरी liberty दी कि ठीक है आप लोग इसको implement करिए, experiment करिए, innovate करिए। So I am really thankful to Dr. O.P. Sharma। और चूँकि आज हम PGDSS के context में बात कर रहे हैं, तो Dr. Koman के support के बिना कुछ नहीं हो सकता है, because it is like a teamwork। Like किसी को भी कोई इनोवेटिव आइडिया आ रहा है तो यहाँ एक फ्री फ्लो होता है। इफ Dr. Koman wants to experiment something, we at NCID support him. If we want to experiment something for the benefit of our learners, Dr. Koman is very well ready. Okay, I will dedicate this time and I will get the things done. और यहाँ पे मेरे साथ मेरी colleague Dr. Sujata Santosh हैं. She is also coordinating व्यास along with me. और मैं अभी फिलहाल एक व्यास पोर्टल का डेमो देने से पहले I would invite her कि वो थोड़ा सा हमें व्यास के बारे में जानकारी दे.
होस्ट दे दिया मैडम, होस्ट परमिशन दे दिया मैडम, आप देख लीजिए शेयरिंग.
Okay, Dr. Koman.
Thank you, Dr. Jyotsna. Thank you, Dr. Diksha. And once again, thank you, Dr. Kuman. I welcome all the students on behalf of NCIDT to this program also. So I hope the video and audio is clear. So we will be giving you a demonstration of the Vyas portal. Dr. Jyotsna will be showing you. This is an effort from our side to enable the distance learners. Because what we feel is that our distance learners, they are spread across the country, and they do the study materials, but there is some feeling of being disconnected from the teacher and all. So that is why this innovative concept came to our mind, and then we developed it. How to provide a one-step portal for interaction, conscious, regular interaction with the students. And I hope now that you have joined the program, you will draw maximum benefit out of it and you will use it. So I'll just briefly give you a few highlights of the portal that we have designed and that we have created or developed to facilitate our distance learners of IGNOU. So it is a one-step portal where you will be getting all the teaching learning materials. You will get all the SLMs in the PDF form, all the PowerPoint slides, all the web resources, video resources that the coordinator will keep on providing on the portal, and also updating the material from time to time as he feels is required. It is also one point access to provide you all the supplementary learning resources at one place. You will get access to related articles, audio video resources, YouTube videos, useful websites, and other such material of your use. Plus, you will also get access to multimedia supported online web counseling. So there will be online counseling sessions provided to you. The schedule will be shared beforehand by the coordinator, and the announcements will be made on the portal itself. Plus, you will be receiving mails and other information from other sources also, from mail and all. And plus, online counseling sessions are conducted, and suppose you are not able to attend it. So we will be recording those sessions and also providing those recorded sessions on the web portal, on the Vyas portal. And then you will also have facility for interaction with other students through discussion forum. There will be a web conferencing, of course, and then chat and blogs and email. From across the portal, you will stay connected with your peers and also with your coordinator. 24/7, you will have this communication and interaction channel with you.
Thank you, Dr. Sujata.
So,
yeah,
I'll just like to add a little more on this. You will also have access to continuous online assessment facility through this portal, or assignment related information, and assignments will be provided to you, plus any activity or quiz that the program coordinator designs, that will be provided from time to time. Plus any other information which is related to the course will be provided here. So this is some basic features that I wanted to highlight about the Vyas portal. Thank you all. I would now request Dr. Jyotsna to move ahead with the demonstration of the portal for students. 10 minutes. Thank you so much.
thank you, Dr. Sujata. So as students, you know the IGNOU portal. www.igno.ac.in, and most of you visit it regularly. Once you open the portal and you come down here, you see web-enabled academic support. You click on this. It will redirect you to the Vyas portal. You click on the login as you will be logging into the student portal. So click on the login button from here. And here you can see the PGDSS portal available, and it's clearly written that this is for enrolled students. So once you click this button, it will ask you to log in from your Gmail account, which is registered with us. So for this purpose, my IGNOU email account is registered. Once I log in through this account, I will be directly given access to the student portal, and similarly, you will also be given access. You have to remember that you have to log in through the registered Gmail account with us. So note this very clearly, right? Now,
but our industry workers not getting at least minimum 500 rupees. And also this traditional
okay, come on, you may please mute.
And also one thing particularly we have to notice is that part of the Kudumbashree or Kudumbashree work, they are earning
Subodh Kumar Das, please mute yourself. Subodh Kumar, Subodh Kumar से मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है.
And part of that, men are not ready to take responsibility.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, students, for a bit of disturbance, but it's okay.
Subodh Kumar. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, Dr. Sujata, in a nutshell, explained you the various features of the portal. And I'm simply demonstrating you these features here. Like, this is the home screen of the portal. And here you have quick access to the various components like the self-learning material, assignments, announcement, which is very important. And this you should regularly visit, because if there is any announcement related to the web counseling session or the last date for submitting assignments or project work, or information regarding declaration of results, you will get every updated information out here. And then there's the calendar of activity also available. Then there are certain learning resources in the form of important website references, video resources, and web resources are available. And then in the communicate and collaborate section, you have links to the email, the discussion forum, and the web conferencing link, the thing which we are doing it right now. So moving to the SLM section, say for example, if we explore the first course of your program, then on this course page, you have the entire content, not only the self-learning material. This is in PDF format. You can click from here, access it, download it, and read it at your own pace and time, the way you want. Apart from this, we have also put the recorded sessions of the previous web counseling which we have organized for this particular course. So you can, like for example, access any one of the recordings. You can, and you can understand the topic, the concept, and things like that, right? Apart from the recorded video sessions, you have presentations of the video lectures also. Say if you want to download them, and again, for while you are going through the SLM, if there are certain doubts or certain things or certain points which you remember that, yeah, it was told in the presentation or in the video. So you can note down from here. And similarly, we have web resources related to this particular course. And Dr. Khuman has curated them very in a meticulous way. I was going through a few and I found it that apart from the SLM and the video lectures, if you go through these, then I think a lot of things are covered. And then you have the video resources also. Now, these video resources are basically external resources, but they are related to this particular course. And in a nutshell, on this course page, you have all the ready reference and the IGNOU SLM and all the multiple media resources available with you. to read a particular course. Now this is applies to all the courses. In all the courses, you will find the same methodology followed, that you will have an SLM of the course, followed by the video lectures of the web counseling sessions. And this is followed by presentation, web resources, video resources, and so on. Apart from this, learners, web counseling is an integral component of the teaching learning process at IGNOU. So as you can see that you are from the July 2020 batch, so you will basically should be interested in visiting this particular section. However, there's no harm, you can visit the previous sections also. So in this particular session, we will keep on uploading the videos. Videos of, like we had the previous meeting, so the video is already there. Similarly, the video of today's meeting will also be uploaded here, and as in when your web counseling sessions will proceed, all the recorded videos along with their PPTs, you can access from this particular section. This is very important in case, though after, getting a feed forward from all of you, we will be conducting counseling sessions according to your priorities, but still in case, if anyone due to some or other, some problem could not view the live sessions, then can certainly from this section go that day itself and view the recorded videos. Now these recorded videos are also very useful when you're revising your course. At that time, just going through the video again, recharges you, and if you have any doubt, certainly you can also clear them with your peers as well as a program coordinator and your other teachers through the discussion forum. Now this project work is another very important component, and it has basically 4 sections. This particular project work section gives you a brief about the project work, the document and project work, the steps and all the things like that. Formats are provided to you, which is also very important. You should know, what is the format of submitting the project, how you have to write the project. And then there are sample reports also. The sample report is very important because this will give you an idea how you can develop your own project reports. And this approved proposals is currently not for your purpose, but certainly when your batch will be submitting the projects, then your entire project status will be available here. Similarly, as you know, that assignment is another important component of the teaching learning process. You will find your assignments here for the July 2020 sessions. You can download it. You can go through the video lectures, and then you can submit your assignments as will be guided by your program coordinator. Similarly, we have Gyandhara, Gyan Darshan. Gyandhara is interactive radio counseling. It is internet based. So say whenever Dr. Kuman will be having an interactive video counseling session or with other experts related to your program, then you will get the information, and from this page, you can actually access the Gyandhara live and listen to them, interact with them. Similarly, we have Gyan Darshan. This is our basically TV channel, and from here also you can directly get access to the video lectures regarding your programs. Then the learning resources we already covered. What we've done is that for the sake of completeness, we put the learning resources in an integrated way here. But say, for example, if you want to only look for a particular video resources, if you want to look for various programs, various courses of your program, then from this page also you will get the video resources for all the courses of this particular program. So you can directly also access from here, and in an integrated way you can access from your course page. The other important component is the discussion forum. So you have to basically land up in the July 2020 discussion forum. This is particularly for your batch. And through this discussion forum, learners, what we expect is that this should be a kind of a collaborative effort. See, like you are very quick in WhatsApp. I see that messages are being transferred to WhatsApp. But, in WhatsApp, what happens is if there is something which you wrote some, say 2 months back, it will be difficult for you to identify until and unless you know that particular phrase, and then you search it and then you find it. But in the discussion forum, things are in a nested way, and whatever discussions which you can carry, it will be very well and very easily searchable and maintainable also. And what we expect is that while you are going through your program, if you know there are certain live examples which you would like to give, or you know you are as we had interacted earlier also, that you are from varied fields. So if you see some case study or some innovation in your particular field, then you can also put it on the discussion forum. Your teachers will moderate it and then will share with your peers also. So you can interact through this discussion forum. Then this learners column is a very important component. It is basically to, you know, ignite the creativity which is inside you, to unleash your creativity. And you know what we do here is that we expect that, see, all of us have a passion, either for our passion for writing, of passion for painting. Even if we are professionals, still we have some kind of a passion in some kind of an art. It could be poem writing also. Like in the past few batches, I observed that students, they are exchanging poems on environment. Now they are studying environment, they are studying sustainability science, but they are writing their thoughts on sustainability science in the form of a poem. So now this is something which is a very creative work. It is an work which is coming from your heart basically. So this is a column where, you know, you can share your articles, or you can share your poems, you can share your artwork or artifact, anything related to the sustainability science. And then, as I told you earlier also, this is the announcement session. Again, you have to go for the July 2020 session, because here you will get announcements related to your particular program, right? So this will keep on filling once we, you know, now today is the, basically we have, this is the first day where we can say officially, yeah, this is the induction meeting, and now all this will fill up. And then there is a calendar of activities, and then this activities and quizzes also there. This is just, you know, to just test yourself. It is always sometimes good also, now that we are reading so much, we are going through the web resources, but yes, let us test also that how far we have reached, and if there is any problem, then certainly through the discussion forum, or even in the during the web counseling sessions, you can ask your mentors. And then there is this download section, which is very important. There are certain old question papers, some identity cards and things like that where you can download. So I think in a nutshell, this is basically a one-stop place where once you land into onto this page, then everything related to your program is available to you. And this is accessible on your mobile devices also, on your tabs also, on your laptops also. So you can access it anytime, anywhere. You can download your SLMs, you can view your counseling sessions later, you can interact with your peers, you can interact with your teachers. So it is, in a nutshell, a very closed environment with full of opportunities for you to interact and to come up with ideas, innovations related to sustainability science. I think with these words and this demonstration, I'll stop sharing. And if there are any questions, then myself and Dr. Sujata, my colleague, will be ready to answer to them.
We'll do in discussion forum, discussion time after the lecture series. Okay, we'll take the question after the lecture.
Thank you, Dr. Jyotsna and Dr. Sujata. Our learners must be very excited seeing this portal and must be enthusiastic to participate in it. I now request Dr. O.P. Sharma, Director NCID, to deliver induction lecture on innovation as a solution to sustainability. Dr. O.P. Sharma, sir, please.
आपको होस्ट का परमिशन दे दीजिएगा, यहाँ से नहीं हो.
Thank you, Dr. Diksha. First of all, I would like to thank school to give me this opportunity to interact with the students. And then I also welcome the newly inducted students for this PG Diploma in Sustainability Science, and wish you them a very successful study and completion of the program. I would like to compliment and congratulate Dr. Khumman also for organizing this induction program in a virtual mode. And I hope it will be interactive and useful for the students. Earlier, as told by him, IGNOU has been organizing this kind of induction program through the study centers. But because of policy decisions, now we are organizing this program through virtual mode using this VIAS platform. Before I talk about my topic, innovation as solution to sustainability, I would like to mention that innovation starts right from the beginning when this program was conceptualized. As mentioned by Dr. Khumman and director of the school, this program itself is very innovative in nature, very unique in nature, need-based, interdisciplinary, and I hope it has been developed keeping in view the specific needs of the specific target group. Unlike BA and MA programs, it's not a mass enrollment program. So we cannot expect the number of students also as many as in BA and MA. And I think the students who have taken admission in this program must be having passion in this kind of discipline subject. They must be having some interest in the sustainability science and sustainability development. That's why you have taken this admission. So I would like to say in that way, this program itself is very innovative in nature. And I hope, because most of you might be working in this field, so it will be a good learning for all of us also. Because the practical learning, field-based learning, which you are engaged with, that will help us in doing something better with your feedback and other suggestions also. So that is one aspect of this program, which is innovative in nature. And second thing, what Dr. Jyotsna and Dr. Sujata have highlighted, the way this program is being offered to you is also very innovative. I can see now there are, I think, around 55 students or some participants are there. And I think in the formal classroom type of counseling at the study center, there is not possibility of so many students at a time. But by using this kind of VIAS platform, at least we are able to meet, discuss, and listen to you, and you are able to listen to us. So the way this program is being offered to you through this web-enabled academic support system is also very unique in nature. All the features have been highlighted to you. And I can say, because this program is related to sustainability science, and I can say that in fact, the question of sustainability comes here when this program was offered through VIAS. Because there was a stage when university decided not to offer these programs through the study center. Then big question was there then how to interact with these students, how to engage with them, how to impart them training, teaching in an interactive and useful, fruitful way. So now with these 3 sessions, which we have completed very successfully with the students like you, and I think Dr. Khumman has done some sort of a survey also with them, and he has found that they were quite satisfied with 2-3 things. Number one, if time is given to you, that somebody will be there to interact with you, to support with you, then VIAS will be certainly there. But in case of study centers, sometimes this was missing. Either the number of students was less, so the teacher was not interested, or sometimes teacher was not there. But in this VIAS portal, you will find that things are available to you as per your need and requirements. If you are available for live sessions, then it is okay. Dr. Jyotsna has mentioned, you are most welcome. And if you have missed, then you can do studies after the program is over by viewing, watching the program. So these all things are available there in this one single portal, VIAS. So this is basically, I can say, the question of sustainability, which we have practiced, and that has given rise to an innovation to offer a program in this way. So these 2 aspects make you that, like in IGNOU, we say that you are the distance learner. But I don't think VIAS will allow you to be a distance learner only. it will not let you feel that you are a distance learner. And moreover, I can assure you that the program coordinator, which I have seen him for last 2 years, he will not let you feel like a distance learner. He will always interact you through one or other way, maybe through discussion fair forum, through the question answer forum or announcement or something, whatever ways he will always keep you engaging. So these are the all innovative aspect of this program, and also the way the program is being offered through this Vyas platform. So these are the few things before I thought I should talk to you about that innovation as a solution to the sustainability. These are the two live examples which we have seen, that for sustainability, innovation comes in rescue. Now I would like to come to my presentation, and then we'll discuss about that innovation as a solution to the sustainability. Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is innovation as solution to sustainability. And this all we have been experiencing and also doing. That's not a very new thing, but I would like to mention the salient features of that, what we have been doing. Though you will be studying about the sustainability in this program in which you have taken admission, but just because I want to initiate my talk discussion, so I thought I should share with you some of the aspects related to sustainability. I'm not an expert in this field of sustainability, but I have tried to find out the basic principles, what govern this sustainability. You can see the sustainability means meeting on own needs without compromising the availability of future generations to meet their own needs. This is the basic thing which we talk about the sustainability. We have many natural resources, whatever is with us, we should be using those without compromising with the need of the future people. And if we are able to do that way, then I think we are doing that in a sustainable way. So the sustainability experts say that sustainability is governed by basically the three principles. Number one is very much important, that is the how it is protecting the environment and natural resources. That is because when we talk about the sustainability, the environment and the natural resources that come in the first place. And the second thing is very much that is related to how it is meeting the social responsibilities and ensuring the social equity. And third very important aspect is how it ensures economic success and also economic development. And when we talk about the economic success, then the cost, benefit, profit, and these all things are covered there. And these are the basic things when we talk about the sustainability. And now I would like to link these the three principles with the innovation aspect. Before that, it will be good to understand about the innovation. I hope many of you might be knowing, and this innovation concept term is very much popular these days in all aspects, all field of, in all the sectors we talk about the innovation. And this innovation means basically something which is basically different, smarter or better, that leads to positive difference or adds value to the existing one. We do many things in our day-to-day life and try to develop them in a different and a new way. Then we say that is innovative product is there. Sometimes we develop something very new that we call as the very radical or breakthrough innovation, and many times we keep on doing some improvement in the existing things, keep on adding the values to many things. That is the incremental innovation, and incremental innovation is basically a very popular and common thing which we do in our day-to-day life. And I would like to connect these aspects with the sustainability. Then you would have seen innovation would be evaluated by their impact on to transfer the world in a sustainable way. This is very important, which can lead to a social, economic, and environmental equilibrium. If you go to the previous slide, then you will find social, economic, environmental, these three aspects are there. And whenever we talk about the innovation, then I have seen we always try to evaluate them on these three aspects, that is the social, how socially relevant it is, how economically means cost effective, or the we can say the profitable that innovation is. And third very important aspect is how environment friendly it is, eco-friendly it is, how good it is maintaining the environmental equilibrium. These are the few aspects. Then if you compare these two things, the principle of the sustainability and also that of the innovation, then you'll find without innovation, sustainability cannot be done, or sustainability without sustainability, innovation is also not possible in the present context. And when we say the thing is innovative or not, then I would like to tell you, normally we evaluate that, we test it on three parameters, that is how novel it is, how new it is. On the basis of the novelty, something innovation is tested. And second important thing is, does it solve a meaningful problem? Because when you talk about the sustainability and when you talk about the sustainable goals, sustainable development goals, then you will find there are a number of problems, and then we would like to solve them by using the innovations. In that context, this, does it solve a meaningful problem? Then it comes there. And third is, does it create some value to the thing which is being done? Is it improving it, making some difference, profitable, or in a different way? So these are few things which are related to the innovation and sustainability. And when we talk about the innovation, then basically we say three things are required. One thing is whether it is desirable or not. Actually, whatever we are going to do, we are going to innovate or develop something new. Is it actually needed? Is it solving some problem, existing problem? That is the question of desirability. So we first ensure that it is desirable or not. And then we come to its feasibility. We may think of some very, very brilliant idea, very good idea, but sometimes that idea or that whatever we are thinking may not be feasible, may not be possible within the our capabilities or the technologies available, the finances available with us, or our other strengths which we have. So that feasibility is also to be ensured in that context. And third very important aspect is the viability. That's viability. When it's the question of viability comes, in that context, the sustainability is the very much important aspect in that context, whether it is a environment friendly, it is just sustainable for the long term. So these all things are required there. Then very much important thing is there, why do we need innovation? We'll find when we talk about the sustainability, innovation would be required, but innovation basically is driven by few things. Certain aspects are there which tells us that there is a need of innovation. Like if we find some problem, if there is some need, then we need to find solution. That is the innovative solution. Or sometimes there are the changing needs. Changing needs, as you have seen during this pandemic period, number of our needs which we never visualized, they were there. We had to do them, whether it is the development of the PPE kits, development of manufacturing of PPE kit, we never visualized, but it was the need of the hour, and our country was not prepared for that. Even then we could do that. That was to meet the changing needs, we had to do that innovation. And many times new technologies are there, and we want to take advantage of the technologies, and then we go for the innovation. For example, you have seen there was a problem, and then to find a solution of that, this Vyas came in rescue, and then this was the technological innovation which we did to sort out the problem. Sometimes we want to improve the quality also. Something is already existing and we want to improve its quality. Then innovation is required. Or many times the cost effectiveness is also a very important aspect, because we want to reach out to the maximum number of people, even in the rural areas, in the remote areas, where people may not be able to afford the cost of a particular item. Then what we need, we want to make it a cost effective. And you will see in the next slides, this is a very important aspect of the sustainable development goals also, because we have to reach out to the people, to the maximum number of people of the country and the world. In that context, whatever we are developing, we have to ensure that it is a cost effective. And when we want to develop something cost effective, then innovation would be required in that context. And next very important thing is, we want to make it a user friendly also. You have seen many devices are there. They are always changing their features as per the need and the user friendliness of the people who are using. Maybe the example of mobile also, as per their requirement, pace and need, just to make them satisfy, the innovations are being done. Another important aspect of innovation is why innovation is required. You will find that something is already there, but there are some gap areas, or the performance is not good. In that context, you will need innovations. Example is that Nokia, you would see, Nokia was a company, or even the Kotak, that company which was a film or the filmmaking company. They were not they were not fulfilling the gap areas or up to the satisfaction of the people. So what happened? They did not do that innovation, and what is the result that you can see? What is the result of those companies? And many times we see the taking advantage of opportunities also. Innovation takes place when opportunities are there. Need is there, one thing, but sometimes opportunities is there. During the demonetization, you might have seen there was a need of online banking. People were forced to do online banking. That time you might have seen a number of online payment making software and this kind of innovations, they came up. That was the advantage of opportunities. And similarly, during this pandemic also, the way we are interacting now with each other, that is an opportunity. That was a problem, and we took advantage of that opportunity, and then now we are interacting with each other. All the teaching learning has now converted into this virtual mode. This is the advantage of taking advantage of opportunity for innovation. And sometimes there is a need for competitiveness also. We have to be innovative. If you want to sustain in the market, then we have to be competitive and innovative. Then only we can sustain in the market. So these are a few things which drive us, which enables us, or which forces us to do innovations. And why I am mentioning these all, because when we will talk about the sustainability or achieving the sustainable development goals, then you will find one or other of these aspects will be applicable there also. Then only we can talk about the achieving the sustainable development goals in an innovative way. Here you can see what is the relationship between innovativeness and sustainability. Then you can say they are interlinked with each other. If you talk about the innovation, then sustainability is also linked. And if you talk about the sustainability, then you have to be innovative to be sustainable. Sustainability basically itself is entirely dependent on our ability to innovate. How innovative we are, how innovatively we are developing the products, services, or the processes to be sustainable, to meet the sustainable development goal, that will depend on that. If we did not innovate, what will happen? We could never achieve anticipated target across every sector, you can say. If you want to achieve anything in the life at the moment, what is happening? We have to be innovative. We have to think differently, think in a way that it is meeting the criteria of cost effectiveness, eco-friendliness, and the sustainability. So I wanted to say that innovation and sustainability, they go hand in hand. We cannot separate them. And how that will be done, you will find again here, I am taking that chart of the principle, sustainability principle, then you will find most of the innovations in the present context are being done to meet the sustainability principles. Whether it is related to the environmental protection or to meet the social responsibility, reaching out the people in the society is related to the food, environment, health, education, whatever is there. We want to give them different kind of services more effectively, in a more cost effective way, more speedily, that those all things. So what is that? Innovation are being done to meet the sustainability principle basically. Today, wherever we are talking about the innovation, everywhere we are talking about that it should be sustainable, because that has to ensure that sustainability principles are being met. So we can see the sustainability is one of the important and very, I can say the very important aspect of the successful innovation. Some of the example you can see sustainability driven innovations. For example, you can say eco-friendly electric cars. Electric cars are there, transports are there, buses are there, but why we needed electric cars? Because pollution was there, this was not eco-friendly, lot of problems were there, environment was being polluted, air pollution was there, many other problems were there. So what we had to thought of, that was the eco-friendly electric driven cars. Similarly, you can see the plastic has come very much in practice. So as a solution for that, we have to think of biodegradable carry bags, biodegradable other items in place of plastics to replace the plastic. That is again to meet the sustainability. These are all sustainability driven innovations. Energy efficient electric bulbs. Electric bulbs are there. You would have seen a lot of energy is being consumed by them, and the production of electricity and the consumption of electricity, we have to keep balance between them. So what we need, either you reduce the consumption by avoiding the use of the electric bulbs or other things, or you design something which is energy efficient, and that is being done by the innovators and inventors in the all over the world. Similarly, you see in case of transportation also, smart and eco-friendly transportation, we are all talking about that. Why we are all talking about this? Again, is the question of sustainability. We are trying to meet the principles of sustainability. Green building initiatives, this is a very common now. Why do we need green buildings? Just to meet the things which are making our environment safe and sustained for the future, without polluting the environment, air and other things. That's why we are talking about the green building, and number of innovations are being done, whether it is the design of the green buildings, whether it is other aspects of the material of the buildings. Many things are being done. This I think you will be studying in your course sometime, or we can interact later in some other occasion also. Similarly, we can see the sustainable plastics are also the plastic, that plastic which was not biodegradable. Now researchers are developing sustainable plastic, which is biodegradable plastic, which is not polluting the environment, that kind of things. These all are the innovations. So basically, I can say innovation in technologies cannot be separated from socio-economic development. So whatever socio-economic development, environmental developments is taking place with the help of technology or otherwise, it cannot be separated. This is a very important thing when you talk about the sustainability science. You will be studying about the sustainability development goals in your program. But I would like to just give a passing reference to these. You have seen these are the 17 goals which United Nations has decided to achieve by 2030.
सर एक रिक्वेस्ट है, आई एम इंटरव्यूइंग।
Yes.
यहाँ पे कुछ लोग ज्वाइन करने की रिक्वेस्ट क्या होगा, आप थोड़ा सा एडमिट कर दीजिएगा। पीपल आर वेटिंग, 2-3 लोग ऊपर है ना सर?
What should I do?
एडमिट।
अच्छा, मैं एडमिट कर दूं?
हाँ, उसको 1-2 लोग का। ऊपर होगा। हाँ या शुभांगी मैडम के भी आए होंगे। आई एम सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट बिकॉज बार बार मैसेज आ रहे हैं।
Sir, I cannot find. Acha,
Okay, anyway, sir,
will it
please
be in
carry on, sir.
participants? Acha, I think it is in participants. Admit.
Anyway,
Yes.
ऊपर होगा। हाँ हाँ।
Yes, she is now. Yes, joining.
Yeah.
3 participants. They
Yeah,
have
yeah,
joined.
yeah. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. First day है ना,
Okay.
इसलिए that's why.
Okay, I did not know that I can admit.
Yeah. First day, don't worry, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay. So
Okay,
in
thank you,
fact,
sir.
I was talking about this innovation in context with the sustainable development goals. When we talk about the sustainable development goals, this you will be studying in your program in detail, but I want to give here the passing reference to this SDG 17 in number. The United Nations has worked out that we have to achieve these 17 sustainable development goals by 2030. Now you think if we continue the way we are going on, in whatever way, in whatever field, like for example, United Nations wants that there should be no poverty by 2030. No person should remain hungry. Zero hunger is the goal to achieve by 2030. Okay, I'm taking example of zero hunger. Hungerness can be eradicated only when we are able to produce sufficient amount of food or crops. That is the possibility. The land is same. We cannot expand that land. What normally we do, we start using the that I can say the unwanted disastrous ways of increasing the crop production. That is the use of chemical and other fertilizers that we start using, and that we have been using, and we want to increase the production by using that that way. That is the one way of doing. But you know what will happen if we do this? There will be a clash with another sustainability development goals. In one way, we meeting the sustainability development goal, but at the same time, we will be clashing or that we can say hampering the other goal to achieve that. For example, there is a sustainable or eco-friendly way. If we are doing things, this is not eco-friendly. So what we need to do, we have to innovate in that way without using the chemicals, other this kind of harmful fertilizers. We have to produce the crop production, increase the crop production, and then we can try to remove the problem of hungerness, and then can achieve the zero hunger goal by 2030. That is the one way. And second way, what could be? We can think of some innovation, and then you all might have seen a number of innovative initiatives. Those are the social initiatives are being taken by the NGOs and other organizations to what is that? To reduce the wastage of food. To reduce the wastage of food. How that can be reduced? You see in the different hotels, restaurants, people are going, they are making them aware and then doing something so that people are not using that much amount of food in their plate, which is not required. So that is one way of saving the food. So these are the different innovative ways. If you are not innovative in your approach, if you are not innovative in the production of your crops or the food, you cannot achieve the sustainable development goals. So I would like to say innovation is key to achieve sustainable development goals. You can take any example. We say that clean water and sanitation. Clean water and sanitation is a goal which we need to achieve by 2030. What will happen if we do not innovate to make water potable from the sea water or the unclean water? Then how we can achieve this goal? So this innovation has to be there. It has to be a very integral component, and we can say the very that kind of thing without which sustainability or sustainable development goals cannot be achieved. Otherwise, what will happen if you do something, there will be a clash with another goal. If you are doing this thing, there will be a clash with the climate action. Climate change will be there. We want to reduce this problem also. At the same time, we want to increase the crop production also. For that purpose, we have to continue with the innovations, and for that, both social and for that purpose, we have to do different kind of social, technological, and other innovations. So I want to say, can we think of achieving these sustainable development goals without innovation? I think all of your answer will be no. We want to achieve these goals by 2030. In some cases, we want to make this early also. What is the possibility? Only the possibility is the innovation. Keep on innovating, think of different solutions, keeping in view the sustainability principles in mind. If you do not keep those sustainability principles in mind, then I think we cannot achieve these sustainability development goals by the stipulated time. That's why we'll have to think of new, innovative, cost-effective, and and eco-friendly ways to achieve these all sustainability goals. And for that purpose, we have to keep balance with the sustainability development goals themselves in terms of social, economic, environmental sustainability. That I have given you example of two, and similar like this example, eradicating hunger. I have given you example. This can be achieved only when we are keeping balance with the different principal aspects of the sustainability. Innovations are needed to meet the timeline of achieving because it's not only we have to achieve those sustainability development goals, but in a limited time-bound manner. And that time-bound manner can be done only when we are innovating. We are finding very speedy and that kind of innovations or technologies or ways which are helping us in achieving these all goals in a limited time in that way. You have seen just Dr. Khumar was talking about the good governance. Governance is one of the aspects of the sustainability. And when we talk about the good governance, it is not possible without the innovation. A lot of innovation, technological innovations are taking place. Re-engineering of the existing processes is taking place, and that has to be done to meet the sustainability and sustainability development goals, and that's possible with the help of innovations. Here are few examples of sustainable innovations that you all might be aware of those. Clean and potable water, that is taking place in an innovative way, and again it is an effort toward the sustainability. Vertical farming and horticulture that you would have seen, particularly in the metro cities, it is happening there. This is again the initiative towards achieving the sustainability and sustainable development goals. A lot of technological innovations are taking place in the field of agriculture and food. Synthetic meat is a very common example. This is an innovation to reduce the dependency on the natural meat, because you might be knowing that natural meat and its use is a very big cause of environmental hazards. Hydroponics is an example, which is an innovative initiative. Electric vehicles, I have just talked. Battery, a lot of innovations are taking place in this field of battery. Lithium-ion batteries and many other batteries are coming up now with the aim that that after their life is complete, they should not be hazardous to the environment. Their life should be more in that context. So these all are the initiatives. Net zero energy buildings is a concept. It is innovative concept. Lot of innovations are taking place towards waste disposal and this waste management. Energy saving devices, number of devices are now coming up. New researches are taking place. Digital technology is a very big example of innovation towards achieving the sustainability and sustainable development goals. So these are all things I wanted to say, that innovation and sustainability, they go hand in hand. without sustainability, we cannot think of innovation in the present context. And without innovation, we can think of sustainability and achieving the sustainable development goals by 2030. And if we are more innovative, then I think we can think of earlier achieving the target also. Thank you very much. And I hope it would be a kind of some initiative towards triggering you, to sparking you towards thinking innovatively. And you will be studying sustainable development and sustainability in your course. But I would like to request you keep on innovating, keep on thinking what kind of innovations are there, could be there, to find out the solutions to the different problems, so that we are able to meet the sustainability development goals in the limited given time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. It was a very innovative way of telling us that how solutions to sustainability can be achieved through innovation. Our learners must have been benefited by it and have got lot many ideas also for innovating in the discipline of sustainability. The house
Thank you.
is now
Thank you.
open. The learners, if they have any queries, they can ask about the program, about CID, about gas platform. So, dear learners, let us hear from you now.
Normal school.
सर प्रकाश शर्मा सर मुझे
Yes,
को
yes.
होस्ट परमिशन दे देना, होस्ट परमिशन.
अरे,
అసలు ఫారెన్ వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువ దీంట్లో నాదేముంది అమ్మ నేను మన ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో సెలెక్ట్ అయ్యి ఫారెన్ వెళ్ళిపోతాను అసలు అమ్మాయిని తీసుకెళ్తా మండే నుంచి ఇది చదవాలా ఇది చదవాలి
My name should start why Yanglem Sharad Chandra must be there. Yanglem Sharad Chandra.
that I'm looking at.
More, yeah, that's why YC Kumar नहीं होगा इसमें. Personal Gmail से Yanglem Chandra.
ఇప్పుడు కూర్చోండి కొంచెం మొత్తం మండే
हो गया, हो गया,
हो गया
sir.
ఆగ్న మేడం కొంచెం చెప్పి
Some question. Okay, those who have put question in the chat box, you can come online and you speak yourself. That would be better.
सर नमस्कार सर, मैं सौरभ गुप्ता बोल रहा हूँ सर, अंडमान निकोबार से.
Okay. नमस्कार सौरभ जी.
सर मैं पहली बात तो सर आप लोगों को जितने भी सर रिस्पेक्टेड टीचर्स हैं सर उनको धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा सर स्टूडेंट्स की तरफ से. और मैं सर ये बताना चाहूँगा कि सर मैं इग्नू का स्टूडेंट सर 2001 से हूँ सर. तो ये जो आपने इनोवेशन किया है सर, इसमें सर स्टूडेंट का ऐसा कोई डाउट ही नहीं बचा सर जो आपने कवर ना किया हो सर. तो थैंक यू वेरी मच सर हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को मतलब सारे डाउट्स मिटाने के लिए, क्योंकि सर इग्नो का इतना प्रोसेस होता है कि 3-4 साल लग जाते हैं लोगों को पहुंचाने में बातें. और स्पेशली सर मैं डॉक्टर खुमन सर का थैंक यू करना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि सर मैंने एडमिशन लेने से पहले सर से मैंने बात करी, क्योंकि सर मैंने MBA भी किया है इग्नो से. उसमें मुझे प्रोजेक्ट में बहुत ज़्यादा दिक्कत हुई थी. तो मैंने सर से यही पूछा, मैंने कहा सर कैसे होगा मेरा प्रोजेक्ट, क्योंकि मैं इतना मेनलैंड से इतना दूर हूँ, कोई काउंसलर नहीं मिलेगा मुझे या असाइनमेंट सबमिट नहीं होगा. तो सर ने मुझे काफ़ी कन्विंस किया और पहली बार ही सर मैंने इग्नो को इतना इनोवेटिव और सर इतना स्टूडेंट फ्रेंडली देखा है. और सर बड़ी खुशी हो रही है सर उस यूनिवर्सिटी में सर, जिस यूनिवर्सिटी ने सर हमें ग्रेजुएट पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट बनाया इस मुकाम तक आते हुए सर. तो थैंक यू सर आप लोगों का, जो मतलब स्टूडेंट्स के लिए ऐसा आपने कोई डाउट ही नहीं छोड़ा सर कि जो मतलब जहाँ पे इग्नो लैग करता था सर स्टूडेंट सपोर्ट में, वो आप लोगों ने सर फुलफिल कर दिया सर. तो काफ़ी खुशी हो रही है सर ये कोर्स ज्वाइन करने के बाद. और सर खासकर सर का जो लेक्चर था तो सर ने मतलब सर एक ही पॉइंट को लेके जो मतलब इनोवेशन से कैसे हम बना सकते हैं और कैसे हमारी थिंकिंग बदली सर ने. थैंक यू सर. सर धन्यवाद सर. और हमारी तरफ से सर पूरी कोशिश रहेगी सर अच्छी अच्छी नई नई चीजें सीखने की। और सर थैंक यू सर वंस अगेन।
सौरभ जी और बाकी स्टूडेंट्स से मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट करूं कि सब अपना वीडियो तो ऑन करें अगर प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो तो, क्योंकि हाँ जो भी स्टूडेंट्स अपना वीडियो ऑन कर सकते हैं वो अच्छा रहेगा। अच्छा, स्टूडेंट टीचर एक दूसरे को देखें ना। यस,
very nice program to hear to see the view.
सर बोलते थे ना डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन में सर टीचर और स्टूडेंट्स डिस्टेंस पे हैं, तो सर आप लोगों ने वो थ्योरी बदल दी सर। ऐसा लगता ही नहीं कि सर आप डिस्टेंस में, सर ऐसा लगता है कि सर आप हमारे लिए आए हैं और हमें पढ़ा रहे हैं, बिल्कुल हमारे करीब हैं, इतने एजुकेटेड और इतने सर एक्सपीरियंस। सर हम कभी कभी अपने आप को लकी भी मानते हैं सर। थैंक यू सर।
सौरभ जी, व्हाट यू कैन डू, आप इस प्रोग्राम को करने के बाद में या करते समय और अपना जो पहला एक्सपीरियंस है उसको एक कंपेयर करते हुए यू कैन प्रिपेयर ए राइटअप। ये कर सकते हैं कि पहले किस तरीके से आपके साथ में इंटरेक्शन हो रहा था और अभी कैसे हो रहा है। बिकॉज जैसे मैंने कहा था कि डॉक्टर खुम्मन का जो क्लास है दैट विल बी एंटायरली डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अदर्स ऑल्सो, व्यास में होते हुए भी जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है, बिकॉज ही इज ए काइंड ऑफ पर्सन बहुत प्रोएक्टिव, बहुत ही स्टूडेंट फ्रेंडली और हर समय आपके साथ में इंटरेक्ट करने वाले एक टीचर हैं। तो वो एक एक्सपीरियंस होगा। यू कैन पुट इट समवेयर ऑन अदर प्लेटफॉर्म ऑल्सो। मैं एक्चुअल में यहाँ बोलना इसलिए चाह रहा था बिकॉज यू आर ओल्ड स्टूडेंट एंड नाउ स्टूडेंट ऑल्सो, ऐसे ही और भी होंगे। टू प्रमोट इनोवेशन, NCERT has initiated a scheme, Student Innovation Award. I don't know how many of you know at the moment, and I want to take this opportunity to inform you that this Student Innovation Award is for all those students of IGNOU who have done something innovative during this period or earlier also, but the condition is you should be IGNOU student. So if you have done something, you can participate in that Student Innovation Award, or you can inform other students also. Sorry, Kummanji, I have taken your time, but I thought it is very important information to inform the students when we are talking about the innovation. That's why I thought to inform.
Yeah, that is part, because we have, varied background. From varied background, we have the student, and if we look into the present base, you will find out a number of learners from, even my classmate is also there. In this time they're taking, see, you will see Dr. Alok Shagar Gautam, he is assistant professor at Garhwal University. Many more are there. And one of my MSc batchmate, Dr. Jitender, also there. I mean, not only that, I have seen a very proactive learners. So I'm sure they will grab that opportunity to get the award of Best Student Innovative Award. So I usually share all the update of the university through, the discussion forum. Today, when you are taking this opportunity to explain the process, that is good idea. Sometimes we are not able to explain. Okay, sir, thank you. Yeah. Others?
Hi, sir. This is Tejas Kiran from Karnataka. So I have a question. Since the course has started a bit late, will the deadlines for assignments and the year-end exam will also shift accordingly?
This is actually, I don't think so, because as per university's norms, you are eligible, as I also explained to you, are eligible to appear the term and examination after completion of 1 year. And technically, you can say it is because of pandemic, we are not able to, start the course in time. But if you look into compared to other course, even from the last 2-3 years, we started counseling session after completion of this closing of admission. But for example, last January session, we started counseling from April in the same way. And that's why even still admission is open. But in that way also, we are not waiting for the latest database of October 15. We are still starting, because as the team of PGDS's BIAS team here, we're worried about that part. So don't worry for that. We'll complete the counseling session on time. We'll complete everything by April, May of the next year. So if it is the case, it is that, I don't think so. The question you are raising is very important, but it will not matter a lot, because you can complete everything on time. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay, don't worry for that.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Hello,
Sir, I have a very
Vijay
small
Shinde
question.
Yes, yes.
Oh, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hello, sir. Thank you, everyone, all the teachers, for the wonderful introduction and all the details of the course. It is really useful. My question specifically is to Dr. Om Prakash Sharma. So basically on innovation, so innovation, I mean, it definitely can help us all to further sustainability, but sometimes the new raw materials which are mined or development that are made can be harmful, which we might not have knowledge about at the start of it. So before any innovation is imbibed in our daily life, don't you think it should be tested properly, as it might backfire as well? Because if we look at green revolution, I mean, it was a very good idea at that time, and it definitely helped India to gain a lot of weightage in the food production. But it also led to many pesticides use and those things. So what are your thoughts on the same?
It's a very good question. In fact, it is a very contextual question. We can say in the present context, the things are different, and if you see that time context, things were different. And with time, we learn many things, and then we start evaluating on different parameters. I think 10 or 15 years back, this sustainability or eco-friendliness or these all things were less considered. But at the moment, we are more worried about these all aspects. That's why we are evaluating those all things on these parameters also. Otherwise, if you talk about the innovation as such only, basically three things are required. It should be new or novel idea, very different thinking. Second thing, it should be solving some problem. It should not be simply that idea, but it should be solving problem. And third thing is that it should be able to, can say the commercialize, or should be able to scalable or replicable, that kind of thing. But now, if anything you are doing and it is harmful to the environment and to the people or that way, so whosoever is involved in the innovation business or innovation related activities, they are now evaluating this innovation on these parameters also. So it is basically a very important question, but it has become a very contextual. Today we are thinking of many technologies which we think are eco-friendly, but after some time we find that there were some aspect which we could not visualize, but it was harmful to the environment also. But presently we are not able to visualize that. We find that in the present context it is good. We are giving green signal to it and saying that it is good is acceptable from the sustainability point of view also. Like you see the example of CNG buses in Delhi or the metro cities. It is a very good example, but now I have heard that some people are raising question on that too also. I don't know why. They might have done some study or something like that. So this kind of things are there, but yes, certainly innovation is something new and different, finding solution to a problem. That solution is useful and impactful, then that will be innovation. But these all aspects we have to keep in mind.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Can I speak?
Yes, yes.
My question is to Dr. Kumar. So you mentioned about the student awards for innovation. Can you tell us something more about it, please? How do we enroll and what is the criteria?
I would like to mention about that. This is a Student Innovation Award. clear innovation means if you have done anything innovative, develop some innovative product or develop some innovative process or anything which is innovative, but it should be, we can say, verifiable kind of thing. If you have done, then you can apply for that award. Last date is 20th October. Details are available on IGNOU website. If you go to the news and announcement there is a link about the Student Innovation Award. When you click on that, it will take you to a website of this Navreet portal where these details of Innovation Award are given. Innovation Award is given in different fields. It is covering almost all fields of our life, maybe food, agriculture, rural development, health, sanitation, technology, clean water, clean energy, and all those fields are there which people are talking about then. But you should have done something innovative. If you have done, then you are most welcome. Apply for that. We will provide you award for that. There is a cash prize of 10,000, 7,000 and 5,000, and more than that is the recognition by National University. Award will be given on the foundation day of the university, mostly on 19th of November. Last time it was given by, I think, Honorable Vice President or some but very eminent people are there. If situation permits, we will call you physically. Otherwise, maybe we may have to announce in this virtual mode itself. But recognition is big. And then we want to help you, support you to take your innovation further also by way of converting it into a some business or somewhere which is so that it is commercializable, by supporting, by providing you some sources, resources, so that you can be funded by them and something like that. We want to help you, nurture you also in future. So that is all about the Innovation Award. Details you can see from the website, IGNOU website, under that is Student Innovation Award.
Thank you, sir.
So if we do not have any more questions, we can wind up the session. I now request Professor Shachi Shah from School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies. Madam, I request you to deliver a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Diksha. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to propose a formal vote of thanks. I, on behalf of IGNOU, take this opportunity to thank all of you for participating in this induction session. At the outset, first of all, I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and Pro-Vice Chancellors for their guidance and constant support for all the academic activity at IGNOU. We heartily thank Director NCID, Dr. O.P. Sharma, distinguished speakers of this session, to have graced this occasion and address the learner of PGDSS on the topic Innovation as a Solution to Sustainability. Thank you, sir, for your motivating session, which deals with sustainability, natural resources, social responsibility, economy, and linking all this with innovation and sustainable development goal. Thank you, sir, for a very meaningful discourse, which I'm sure will encourage our students to practice innovation for sustainability or vice versa. The idea behind this induction session was to introduce the learner about the program and its special feature. I profusely thank Dr. Jyotsna Dikshit and Dr. Sujata Santosh for guiding our learner about the VYAS, that is Web-Enabled Academic Support Services, which is a unique and learner-friendly services provided by NCID. We wholeheartedly thank Team NCID to provide an interactive one-stop program portal that will help the student in getting academic support for PGDSS program, especially during this time of pandemic. Our heartfelt thanks are also due to our director, Dr. Shubhangi Vaidya, for her encouragement and continuous motivation to all of us. I also take this opportunity to congratulate and compliment Dr. Kumman the program coordinator of PGDSS, for putting so much efforts for making this PGDSS program a very innovative and learner friendly. I also like to thank our entire faculty of SOITS, Student Registration Division, Regional Service Division, Material Production Division, and all the IGNOU fraternity who are directly or indirectly involved in this program. Now, most importantly, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to each of our PGDSS learners who have joined the program and actively participated in this induction program. We are really thankful for your kind words and which are very encouraging and motivating for us. Hopefully you all have enjoyed the program. We look forward to seeing you all in all the sessions organized for you in next few months and making this PGDSS program even more successful and exciting. Thank you, Dr. Diksha, for moderating the program so well. Last but not the least, I would like to extend a special thanks to one and all who made this induction program a great success. Thank you all.